Greetings, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this episode today. I'm just gonna start making weekly videos on wildfire updates. I feel like that's a really important thing, and we are living in a time where they're becoming more prevalent and spread faster and get bigger than ever. So, tracking these storms down is always something I've been into. I love weather as well. I personally live in a place where it's very dry. It's in the west. It's in Colorado, and Colorado gets very dry, and we have had also really terrible years for wildfires. So that being said, I just wanted to go ahead and start making weekly videos to inform people and also just kind of get involved in the community of people chasing wildfires. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This is a really big time for wildfires right now. Alright, so I use a website and an app called Watch Duty. Watch Duty is fantastic. It's been put together by, I believe, a culmination of different nonprofits and probably government entities, I guess. I'm not too sure. But I do know that it is constantly getting updates. As you see to the right here, it is constantly getting updates on fires. So whether they've been put out, whether they are, if you see here, all these RX fires, those are what they call prescribed burns, or if these fires are spreading. So obviously, as you can tell, these orange and lighter orange and red fires are active fires, and it mainly has the western part of the United States and parts of the Midwest. And these prescribed fires are really good. These prescribed fires help prevent future fires. Forest fires are a natural thing, and as humans, we need to maintain preserve our wild land. So, but I kind of want to talk here, if we zoom into California here, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about these insane fires going on in Southern California. Now, Southern California has had this really crazy bout of windstorms or wind coming in, and it's also very dry. Though it is on the coast, it is not the same as the East Coast, because the East Coast has a lot more humidity. So fires are a lot less common. However, you can still get wildfires on the side, but they don't spread quite as fast. The West Coast, on the other hand, and the western part of the United States, gets a lot of fires. So going back to what I was saying, I just wanted to zoom in here to this section here of Southern California. Now, Los Angeles is under severe warnings right now. They've had up to 100-mile-per-hour wind, which is like hurricane level winds. That is way too fast, and it's really dry. So all it takes is somebody sparking a cigarette, or if you have homeless people trying to stay warm by a fire, or people just being careless, or just straight up arson. That does happen, and some of the worst fires have been caused by arson. So the Palisades fire right here in the dark red right here is actually where it has already burned, or it's actively burning. And then the slightly pinker red right here are zones in which that they are saying, if you are here, you need to go. And then the yellow regions here are evacuation warning. So if you're anywhere in a yellow, like red or kind of pinkish red area, you either should have been gone like yesterday, or you need to get going. Now, obviously, what you're seeing on the news and all these news reports are a lot of what's in these areas here. And with these winds, they are spreading these fires like crazy. So like I was saying earlier, the wind is causing the conditions to really not get any better, especially with an active burn. You have other fires that'll pop up from embers, as far as things like Sunset Fire. This is obviously a smaller fire here, but that could very easily turn into something like the Palisades Fire. The Eaton Fire here, as we can see, it's slightly smaller than the Palisades, even though it's still very dangerous, and it's affecting a lot of people in Los Angeles here. 10,590 acres as of right now. It's January 9th, and I know that they are just planning on battling these fires until they're all gone. You know, whether if you've been to Los Angeles, live in Los Angeles, or know anything about it, it is one of the biggest cities to exist. And it just so happens to be in one of the most beautiful places on earth, California. It's a beautiful place to live. However, economically, politically, and all that stuff is a different story. But the climate there is like awesome. It's a beautiful, beautiful, perfect place to live weather-wise. However, it gets very dry, and when we have these strong winds, you know, it does increase the likelihood of fires. But as we can see here, we got the Palisades fire. As of January 9th, we're at 19,978 acres. It's already either burning or has burned. Everything in these areas has been affected by this. If we zoom in here, just to kind of give you a reference of what we're talking about, these are all neighborhoods, subdivisions, all these things like this. These are either on fire or have burned. It makes it look like a war zone. It is so sad. So basically, all these fires that you're hearing about in Los Angeles area are, you know, these ones right here, you know, your Palisades fire, which is the biggest, the Eaton fire, which is the second biggest, and then the Hearst. Now, things like the Lydia fire is probably something that has been a result of these fires, or it could have been just somebody sparked a fire, you know, whether it was completely natural or by accident or on purpose, you know, whatever. But these are the main ones that you're hearing, and it's such big news because there are so many people that live in this area. So if you zoom out, you'll see some more fires that have kind of spawned over the last couple of days here. It's a insane time for fires, which is really crazy because it's so cold out. But you know, it just goes to show you it doesn't have to be warm weather just to have fires. So it just needs to be dry, and it needs to be tender enough. But we've got this ranch fire right here that's right in the southeastern corner near Mexicali. Ranch fire. It's just it must be a 65 acre fire that has sparked up here, really close to the border. It looks like there has been about 50% containment. Excuse me, I can't talk. 50% containment, which is good. That means that fire is getting under control. And it looks like this cattle fire here may have something to do with this ranch fire, whether if it was embers or just the strong winds or both. It's about 15% contained, but I believe since this has been updated, this has been put out. But it just kind of goes to show you that even though this is so far away from this, one fire in one area could very possibly cause a fire in another, or create the right conditions, if that makes sense. Because wind can carry embers and smoke and all that stuff for miles and miles and miles. A couple of other ones right here in, what is this? Yeah, Arizona area, Nevada. This one is a fairly new one too. This is the Horton fire. You know, they're making evacuation warnings here. That's a pretty substantial fire, though we do have 23% containment. We are talking 8,000 acres here. That's some acreage. You know, and that could be, you know, taking out livestock. That could be burning homes. It looks like it might be fairly rural, but still, it's just really crazy to think that we are getting 8,000 acre fires here in the winter, in January. We've got the Gap fire here, 1,600 acres. Let's see the containment on this. There's no containment update, so it's just still a live active fire. You can tell here, that's another one. It looks like it's just kind of out in the countryside here. I know there is lots of countryside in Nevada. But those are where the majority of them are. Texas has a fire here, over here in the Gulf of Mexico. West Easement fire. Now that may have nothing to do with all the strong winds and dry climate, because this area of the country is definitely a very humid area. So this could have nothing to do with any of the other fires, but it's 2 acres, so it's still a baby, but still. Firefighters are definitely, I'm sure they're working on getting that put out. We definitely wouldn't want anything to spread because it's so close to Houston and that is such a big metropolitan area. We would hate for another huge disaster like that to happen. Not to mention that we don't want this to get any bigger because this is a fire and that can destroy livelihoods. Other than that, we just got one over here in South Dakota. It is surrounded by several prescribed fires here. 2.9 rawhide fire. Any containment? No. But hopefully, they are working on getting that put out. It looks like it is near the city of Custer here. So we definitely would hate to see that continue to burn. I'm sure crews are working on that now. But I think it is really important to stay alert and aware of all the fires that are going on, because the season is clearly making it ideal for fires. So definitely be alert. You never know if it's coming near you, because these things can be very dangerous, man. Guys, that's pretty much all I have. I definitely, if you enjoyed this, if you felt that it was informative, let me know in the comments. Please like, subscribe. I just want to keep people informed as to what's going on. I think it's really important to know about your surroundings. If there's a wildfire going on, be prepared. Have a bag that you can grab and say, let's go, get the dog, get the cats, grab the baby, whatever, because it's really important. You never know what can happen. This is Los Angeles, and here they are just dealing with one of the worst fires. It's one of the most destructive fires in history, at least for this area. I know that Maui in Hawaii had that terrible fire a couple of years ago, and it had strong winds in common, just like this. So it doesn't matter if you live in a very populated area, wildfires can happen. So definitely like, comment, subscribe. If you like some of the music that I have going on in the background, this is actually my other channel here, Nature Walker. I just post royalty-free music. If you like it, awesome, go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. Also, I've got other music called the BPA Free Water Jug that I post on Spotify. Definitely check that out. If you want some chill indie music, feel free to go listen to it. I definitely appreciate all the support on my music, on this fire channel that I'm starting up, and also my royalty-free music. You guys have a great day. Be safe out there, and keep a watchful eye, my guy.